How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Truck Driver Sean YouTube channel. Today, we are coming at you with an incredible pedal by this Heavy Earth. So we all know the Grim 3, right? We can all agree the Grim 3 was an amazing pedal. So he's tripled down, and this is the Grim 3D. D standing for Deluxe. This is going to run you $285 plus shipping. It is a 2 and/or 4 cable method overdrive, okay? It has a clean boost on it, and it also has a gate. The gate you can turn on, and it's a momentary switch, meaning if your gate's on, if you hold the button down, the gate will turn off, and when you let go of it, the gate comes back on. So like if you're gonna do a solo or something, you can turn it off. You can get that wide range of, feel and stuff that you want to get without things getting super choppy. That's smart. Absolutely smart. So across the top, you kind of have your normal settings. Get your high, your low, your mids, your gain. So obviously, highs, you're going to cut and or boost your highs. Lows, cut and boost your lows. Mid, you're going to adjust the hump, which is where it's at in its situation. Gain, destroy shit, right? And with this Heavy Earth, there's tons of gain, like buckets of it. Then you have the blend, which is going to mix your dry and your wet signal, okay? So if you have it all the way to the left, you're dry. All the way to the right, you're wet. And you can get it in there to whatever your secret little spot is. Everybody's spot's different. This gives you the ability to choose. Then you have three little nipple turners in here. So you can tone in Tokyo. Yeah, I said it. All right. So you have your clean, which boosts your dry side. Okay, so it's like a clean boost. When you go wet, it's going to be like an overdrive. Okay. So you can really stack a lot of gain shit with one pedal. Super smart. Again, just smart. Your gate is going to control your sensitivity of your gate. There's also a trim pot on the inside that makes it so it's a hard gate or a soft gate. And when it comes to the mids on the inside, there's also a mid boost. It's just on and off. Like you can either kick it up or leave it alone. Okay. So then we go over to your bright. That's going to kind of smooth out the high end. Get it so it's not so stabbing. So you don't have like that throwing shards of glass at people effect. And you come down, you have the level, which obviously is how much of this pedal is going into your signal that you already have. Okay. And then you go over here to clip. You have 3 LEDs, 3 clips. You have LED on the top. You have diode in the middle, symmetrical on the bottom. And the symmetrical is symmetrical silicone. All right, and then you have the bite, which is your mid boost control. It's either on or off, okay? And then you have your bite, which is your mid boost control. Controls where that mid boost is going to hit. And then obviously the on and off button. And as we stated before, you can turn the gate on and off, or you can hold it and it's momentary. So If you're not using the gate and you want the gate to come on, you hold it down, the gate is on. Or if your gate is on and you want to turn it off, hold it down again, it turns off. And when you unplug it, it keeps the setting on how you had it set, so you don't have to like redo it every single time you go to use your pedal. Again, super smart. All right, you've heard me explain what this thing does. We're also going to talk about, before I go in and do the playing, I am one of the people that contacted Shay, was like, this isn't working. So the way his 4-cable method works is a little different than most people's. He follows the dirt, I think is how he put it. Follows the dirt. But anyway, you gotta come out of your guitar into the, I believe it's input. Yep, to the input. The output is going to go to the return of your effects loop. And then the return is going to go to the send of your effects loop. And then the send is going to go to the amp input. Good to go. Runs on 9-volt. Okay, now we got that talked about. Let's hook it up and get chuggy with it. All right, so check out the Batman, and I'll be right back with you. To the Batman. Okay, so we're sitting here. We have the Grim 3D hooked up. My signal from beginning to end, super simple. We have the Heathen Gungnir 6-string loaded with EMG Classic 8185. That is going into the 4-cable method, Grim 3D and Mesa Triple Crown 50. We are using the red channel into my Arachnid cabs, loaded this time with a Man of War and DV77, being captured with an SM57. So what we're going to do here, I already dialed in like a tone that I really like. So I'm going to show you my tone, and then we're just going to turn some knobs out of that, because this really is, I'm not saying this, no one's paying me to say this. I'm saying this because it's true. If you want this pedal to fix your amp, it will not fix your amp. But if you're the type of player that likes to sculpt a tone, use the organic sound from your amp and just curve off pieces here, add pieces there, just sculpt. This right here is absolutely fucking phenomenal. I love it. It's a great tool. It is. Because no matter what you plug it into, you should be able to find your sound really easily, because you can take away and add so much different stuff. All right, so here we go. Let's turn around and play some guitar. Yeah. Okay, as you can see, this thing just fucks hard. So what we're gonna do now is turn that off. As you can tell, lots of noise, right? So I'm gonna show you what the amp sounds like on its own. So let's kill this vocal mic because it's fucking annoying at this point. All right, here's what the Mesa sounds like all by itself. All right, so we can admit having that much noise sucks, but it's a high gain amp. Well, the spectral gate is built right into this. Obviously, it is now super quiet. So now let's see what the Mesa sounds like with, you know, the gate engaged. Here we go. All right, so that is just straight up Mesa, man. It's kind of weird when you're using an amp, right, that just sounds good anyway, but it doesn't sound the way that I like my tone a very certain way. So here's where the Grim 3D comes in. When I turn this on, you're gonna see, is it a massive difference? Like it's completely taken over the amp and erasing what the amp is? No, but you can tell when you listen to it, what frequencies I actually like and what I don't like in my tone. So I'm not trying to sound like anybody else. I sound like myself, because why? I'm 50, I'm stubborn, and I'm an asshole. All right, here we go. So as you can tell, is it a massive difference? No, it is not. But can you tell what I did with it? What I did with it is awesome. I'm not sacrificing nothing. I got just enough gate in there that it keeps the noise floor at an acceptable rate. And I've got all the chimes where I want them, the lows where I want them. It really is, it's tight, it's aggressive. I don't really play much in the down tune world. I'm pretty much old, yeah. So I'm gonna turn some knobs for you. First one we'll do will be, we'll do the clean and then we'll do the bright. Here we go. I turned the gate up. We're gonna go back to the queen now. Try that again. Jesus. All right, so that was both the clean and the boost. Now we're going to show you the difference between the clipping. So we have LED on the top, got symmetrical silicone in the middle, which is where it's at right now, and then at the bottom it's diode. So we'll just start at the top. So the top is going to be LED, then symmetrical, then diode. Here we go. All right, so there's the clipping. Now we're going to do the mid boost on and off. All right, here we go. All right, now we're gonna go and mess with the bite. And we're gonna turn the vocal. Yeah, she gets bitey. Now we'll play around with the tight, because, you know, we like it tight. We like it tight. Here we go. All right, now we're going to play around with the blend. All right, the only other one I'm going to play around with a little bit is the gain, because right now I have the gain maxed. That's all she's got. So we're going to see what happens when we start cutting that back. All right, here we go. Well, there you go. That is the Grimm 3D, great tool. If you're looking to take a weak amp and make it go crazy, I really don't know if you're going to get that from this. But if you have an amp that it's just not really right there, but you kind of like the sauce that's in it, this is probably my favorite pedal for this type of thing that I've had in this room. It's really good. And I love the fact you can turn the noise gate on and off. Like I said, if you want to play a solo, you can kick it off so you can get all those bends without them getting choppy and cut off and all that crap. It's a really smart design. For $285, you basically get a clean boost, an overdrive, and a noise gate, all in one pedal. You can turn the noise gate on and off. You can turn the pedal on and off. You can do so much stuff with this, you know? Like tons. Okay. Very cool. So, you know what? Have yourself a good day, man. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you in the next video. Later.